Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we run down all of the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. Last week was one of the busiest, I would say the busiest weeks of the year, but we've only been through a couple weeks, so I guess it makes sense. But it was a very exciting week. We were jam-packed with stories, most of which were for the energy drink market. We had a lot of beverage news, a lot of energy drink stories, and we've actually brought together a whole bunch of them for this little podcast, for the catch-up episode, and we're going to put all of them at the end. We're going to kick it off with the more traditional news and stories, the sports supplement stuff, and it's going to all start with Vital Proteins, known for its collagen supplements, but that this past week it introduced a protein bar under its Vital Performance brand, and it's this one caught my attention mostly because the brand made the claim or said that it was going to change the game. And while I do see that a lot, this thing got my attention because Vital Proteins is a collagen. It's known for its collagen supplements. So it wasn't too surprising that the new Vital Performance protein bar has 20 grams of protein per bar, and half of that is from collagen. And it is that use of collagen that caught my attention, because in the bars that I've had, in my experience, a lot of them in Europe, even if it's collagen and it's not sort of, it's not the I guess the bigger source or the most prominent source of protein, it's been like second or third on the list or whatever, they've tended to taste really good. It's kind of like my theory when you see brands put less protein in a bar. If the protein bar has 10 grams of protein versus 20, there's a very good chance, in fact, probably 99 times out of 100, the one with less is going to taste better. It's kind of like sugar. Put a little more sugar in the bar, it's likely going to taste better than the one with less. And so when brands tend to go with things like collagen, in my experience, they've tended to taste better, sweeter, more consistent, better, softer as well. They're just easier to eat and a little more candy bar-like. So that one kind of caught my attention because I haven't seen too many US brands really do a collagen-powered bar. And that's not really, it's not really a collagen-powered bar here. As I said, it gets half its protein from collagen, but to be honest, it actually fits with this brand because, as I said, Vital Proteins is a collagen. It's known for its collagen supplements, and so it kind of fits with I guess the theme of the brand. So yeah, it has 20 grams of protein per bar, 11 grams of fat, 12 to 14 grams of carbohydrates, just 2 to 3 grams of sugar, and 230 calories. There are 3 flavors: vanilla coconut, salty chocolate peanut, and chocolate almond, with obviously the chocolate ones being the ones that tickled my fancy. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I'm just intrigued. I'll see if someone mentions something to me and see if it's worth picking up. I'm always a fan of trying new snacks, new products. The worst thing that's going to bug me is if I go out on a limb, buy this thing, and buy a box of it, and it's just an average bar. I would be disappointed because again, I do like it when things get my attention, but it also gets my attention in the sense that it gets my hopes up. Like when they say game changing, and the fact that it had collagen, and the fact that it was quite a lean bar, and it's a very mainstream brand. So mainstream brands tend to actually make their things taste at least tasty for the mainstream a lot of the time. So yeah, I might pull the trigger on this one. We'll see. You can read more about that one on the site, but yeah, that was an interesting bar. The next story we have actually comes from the brand Astroflav, which is known for its protein powder. It's top tasting protein powder. ISO mix comes in a variety of flavors, but this past week has ISO mix was not the star of the show for Astroflav. It was in fact 2 entirely new supplements. The brand came out with Astro Amino, which is, as you could guess, an amino supplement, taking that more modern approach of featuring a full spectrum of EAAs. I think it was like 8 grams, combined 8 grams per serving, with 5 grams of that being, of course, BCAAs, with a few other ingredients thrown in the mix, such as electrolytes for hydration. You've got Aquamin minerals, betaine, taurine, coconut water, and estrogen to enhance the absorption. So yeah, it's pretty comprehensive. Hydration and aminos tends to be the combination you get with amino supplements these days. You don't really see them by themselves anymore. It's just a nice mix, as people tend to take their aminos or drink their aminos during their workout. So added hydration is a nice little touch for intra-workout and throughout the day as well for those that do that. But as mentioned, Astroflav launched 2 products this week. Astro Amino was one. The other was a little more prominent, or a lot more prominent, with an all-new pre-workout. And this is the product is Flip Mode, and this one is replacing Astroflav's original pre-workout, or the one that it was known for in Moonshot. Not too surprisingly, the formulas from Moonshot to Flip Mode are quite similar. Some key features that are consistent, such as citrulline malate, beta-alanine. The caffeine is still around the same, although it's only one form of caffeine in this version. But some of the biggest changes, I guess, from Moonshot to Flip Mode is that Flip Mode doesn't contain DMHA, Noopept, or Hygienamine, 3 ingredients that were in Moonshot. It has, however, not just removed things, it's added a few ingredients into the mix to, I guess, try and maintain that intensity, that reputation that Moonshot was known for, and I guess help fans ease over to Flip Mode. A few of those ingredients that it has added, you've got tyrosine has been added in there at 1 gram to help with focus, 1.5 milligrams of alpha-yohimbine, and I always have trouble pronouncing this one, but 25 milligrams of isopropyl norepinephrine, another intense stimulant. Area durensis is still in the mix. As mentioned, caffeine is still in there as well at 350 milligrams. CDB choline, huperzine, hordenine, DMAE, and so they've got kind of it is a balanced pre-workout. I didn't mention every ingredient in there, but it is a balanced pre-workout, much like Moonshot was designed to increase energy, focus, pumps, and performance. Flip Mode just tries to do all that with a different set of ingredients, and of course under a different name. If you were a fan of Moonshot, this thing looks along the same lines. I wouldn't be, with those different ingredients, stimulants wise. I would expect a different feeling, energy, focus, but the all-roundness still seems to be there. They've still got that nice balance, not too much on energy, not too much in this area. That it just seems to have maintained that balance. The new product, Flip Mode, is $44.95, which is the same price as Moonshot, but it is worth noting that you only get 25 servings per tub in this one, as opposed to Moonshot, which had that more traditional 30. You can read more about each of those supplements, Flip Mode and Astro Amino, on our website. Just type in Astroflav and that will pop up. The next story we have, the next 2 stories we have, come from Morphogen Nutrition, who was one of my favorite brands of 2020. They absolutely killed it despite everything that went on. They managed to pump out some new supplements and kind of let the Stacked audience know what Morphogen Nutrition is all about. And that is complex and comprehensive supplements. One of the key things that I knew about Morphogen before 2020 kind of went down was that they put together some solid supplements, and even though all of their advanced supplements are $48 each, which is a little more than that, I guess they're more mainstream, 30 to 40, they make sure you get your money's worth, right? Like we had Ben from Morphogen on the podcast not that long ago, and he said this. He said, when he made cuts and changes here that saved him money in one part of his business, he didn't just leave it there. He went and put another ingredient or 2, I think it was 1, into each of his supplements to give back for that difference. And I just thought this was the craziest thing to hear, but that's the kind of brand that Morphogen Nutrition is. And this past week, they dropped 2 new supplements, basically bringing their complex and comprehensive, well thought out approach to 2 very different categories. There's Morphobiome, which is a gut health and digestion supplement, and Morphoderm, which is a beauty and I guess wellness type supplement. 2 categories you wouldn't necessarily relate to a traditional sports nutrition brand, at least I guess a few years ago. Now that a lot of brands are getting into the kind of beauty and wellness side, and of course gut health has become quite a big category. Over the past year, we've seen a few brands come out with something specific for that part of your daily supplement regimen. But so the formulas behind these are both pretty loaded. I did like when you look at Morphobiome, you'll see that it's not your typical, I guess, generic enzymes, probiotics, prebiotics. They've got that kind of balance. You got probiotics in there and stuff like that, and prebiotic fiber, but it's not I guess your traditional mix of those ones. It's some fiber, prebiotic fiber, and you got ProDura premium probiotics, providing 2 billion CFUs. Estrogen is in there as well to help with absorption. And you kind of have the same thing with Morphoderm, which, as I mentioned, is the new beauty supplement. Although on that one, you've got a much wider range of ingredients, a lot, not really a lot more, but just a bigger amount of active ingredients. I think it's just over 4 grams you get on a serving of this, all jammed into 6 capsules. And again, Morphogen Nutrition is known for its premium formulas, and I guess you look at the labels of these compared to the competition, and it's pretty obvious. Morphogen's done a great job. Morphoderm, much like Morphobiome, it's brought together quite a premium mix. It has its branded ingredients in there as well, such as the Dermaval fruits and veggies blend, Verbisnol. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. I always just say them the same in my head, but that's in there as well. And there's a few ingredients for eye health as well. It's sort of, like I said, it's sort of a beauty, health, wellness type thing. And it's kind of a nice fit for the brand. It's not an area that it was really, that most brands were in, but it's not an area that Morphogen specifically wasn't in. And I like how they've added, so it's not all there just for hair, skin, and nails. It's not just a collagen supplement, which a lot of people have put out. They've gone and brought together ingredients and I guess roped in benefits that I guess link into beauty, skin, and hair and nail health, such as the eye health. And I imagine it would go nicely with some of the other brands, other supplements, which I think I was messaging Ben and he was alluding to the fact he's got a lot of things that will go nicely with this lined up. And you can check that out on the site, both of them. Just type in Morphogen Nutrition. But next up, now as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of energy drink news, and the entire next part of the podcast is going to be exclusively beverage news. And I think we've got like 9 stories here, so I'm going to run through them. I'll go more detail on some of the exciting ones, or more exciting ones. But first up, we got a new flavor from Cellucor for the C4 Focus Enhancing beverage, C4 Smart Energy. This is the second new flavor the brand introduced since it brought the product to market, which I thought Smart Energy was around for a lot longer, but it was actually only introduced this time last year. It originally debuted in 3 flavors, and then it was only a couple of months ago they dropped Black Cherry. The new flavor announced this past week is actually one Cellucor fans will be familiar with, because you can find it for some of its pre-workouts like C4 Extreme, C4 Original, and C4 Ultimate with Icy Blue Raz. And so I believe that flavor is available now or soon. They told me it was like, I think the image they sent was available now, but from what I've seen on social media, it might not be out until this week. But that one's takes the product to 6 flavors, I believe. Not 5, maybe they had one. Oh, that's right, it launched in 4, sorry. It launched in 4 originally. Black Cherry made it 5, and Icy Blue Raz makes it 6. Next up, we go to Beyond Raw, the GNC exclusive brand, in regards to its energy drink version of the LIT pre-workout with LIT on the go. Now, this one was big news because it is an authentic collaboration. And just me saying that, if you know Beyond Raw, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So in 2020, Beyond Raw teamed up with the popular candy Jolly Rancher for 2 authentic flavors of its original LIT pre-workout. That was watermelon and I think it was green. Yeah, Jolly Rancher green apple and Jolly Rancher watermelon. And to be honest, you knew that it was only a matter of time before they extended that partnership beyond LIT, released into another supplement, and that is exactly what we got to start the new year. Beyond Raw has introduced those same 2 authentic Jolly Rancher flavors for its LIT on the go energy drink. The the watermelon and green apple. You can buy those both now from GNC. And yeah, I kind of saw this one coming. I would have thought they would have done it for another supplement first before they went into the energy drink, but I thought it was really cool to see. As far as I know, Ghost, I thought was one of the first to do it. I hadn't seen any others to partner with a company on authentic flavor, specifically for an energy drink, which would make Beyond Raw one of the first as well, because I haven't seen any do it since Ghost. But on the topic of Ghost, that is who our next story is about as well. Ghost confirmed an all-new flavor for its Ghost energy drink, and it is another Sour Patch flavor. This Sour Patch Red Berry was one of the first 4 flavors the brand did for its energy drink. It was one of the first ones it rolled out when the product came to market just a few months ago. And now they've announced and come out with a Sour Patch Kids Blue Raspberry, which is really the first new flavor they've come out with for Ghost Energy since it launched. And it is also worth noting that if you remember, that was only like a couple of weeks ago, Ghost basically shared all these updates and changes that are coming to its energy drink to help give it a bit of flavor, a bit of taste, a bit of experience overall. So those changes are rolling out with the launch of this new Sour Patch Kids Blue Raspberry, which they've told me is rolling out to stores now. You can already find it at GNC. And so the newer versions of the other flavors are rolling out alongside it. So you'll find those at the likes of GNC. I think Vitamin Shop, when I went to their site, they had the new labels listed as well. So key things to look out for on the label, just to know if it's the newer version, is that they switched from acetyl L-carnitine to Carnipure, carnitine tartrate. So basically, if you see carnitine on the label, that's the newer version. That's intended to be the better tasting, with a couple of tweaks. And of course, again, Sour Patch Kids Blue Raspberry is another key one, because that never came out in the first version. You can get a closer look on that on the website, but again, we still have a whole bunch more. Next up, we have a couple stories regarding beverages from the European market. Finnish brand Battery announced a new flavor for its flagship energy drink with strawberry peach. If you have a chance to try this, if you're ever in that part of the world where you see Battery on the shelves, I suggest trying it. I do note that if I'm not a sugar energy drink fan. I prefer the sugar-free, no calories, but Battery does have mostly sugary flavors. It has a few that aren't, but most of them are. I never tried the sugary ones, but the sugar-free ones or the low-calorie ones I have. If you were in that part of the world, I don't know the many countries that they extend into. I know they're in Finland. That's where they're from. Pick it up. They come in like a more traditional, like stocky can, not that tall, 16 ounce, but it's probably one of the nicest energy drinks I've had from Europe, and well worth a pick up, well worth a try, especially this one. Looks pretty good. Strawberry peach. They had I'm trying to remember the fruity flavors I had when I was there. They were both on point. I think, Jungled was one and peach and raspberry was the other. Both on point, both great. I'm trying to remember. And definitely give it a try. Well worth picking up. And the other one we have news on from Europe is Celsius. Now, this is not to be confused with the Celsius energy drinks you get in the US. It's a different lineup. A lot of people ask this. It is intended to be the same brand, so it's the same kind of name and thing. But the lineup of beverages you get in Sweden from Celsius is different to what you get in the US. And they actually launch a lot of limited edition, special edition kind of flavors in Sweden. And that's kind of what we got this past week. Celsius decided to bring back its limited edition flavor from 2019. So every year, I think since 2018, the Swedish side of Celsius has done a special edition flavor. It all started with ginger ale, then we got frozen berry, and then last year was blueberry frost. Now, the one from 2019, frozen berry, has returned. The brand's brought it back as a permanent flavor. You now not need to worry about it disappearing. It's here for good in Sweden. So, definitely check that one out. Never got to try it. I haven't actually had any of the Swedish versions. I know they're different, but we'll probably give that one a try next time I'm in the area. So we now shoot back over to the US market. Again, I'm trying to shuffle through but not rush too much through these energy drink updates. The next one we have is from Bang. Obviously, I don't know if I mentioned it on the last podcast, but Bang was teasing a new flavor of its signature energy drink. It was kind of themed around love and Valentine's Day with a bunch of love hearts in the background. They finally announced, revealed and released that thing. And it is indeed a strawberry flavor. Of course, coming from Bang, it's got quite a unique name with Delish Strawberry Kiss. It is obviously a strawberry flavor. I mean, it's got a different name. Obviously, Bang did launch Strawberry Blast earlier this year, which was originally the military exclusive, one of the two. The other one was Purple Kittles. I assume this one's different. I haven't tried this one, of course, yet, but I assume it's different name, but it's come out for Valentine's Day, and you can already grab it from the brand's website. For those that made on the pre-order, I believe it must have shipped already, but yeah, another great one from Bang. And now we move to the last few stories. The third to last one we got comes from Jim Molly, which is a kind of a new brand to us. We only just kind of introduced to them. We were only just introduced to them, and lo and behold, this week, like just a few days after we came across them, they launched a new beverage version of its of their amino supplement After Party, which features much what I said earlier. It features aminos and electrolytes, with BCA has been on the amino side at 7 grams, and of course electrolytes for hydration. Now, they've basically turned that into a beverage. So Jim Molly, if you haven't met, it's a very colourful, new age, modern, kind of very bright and attractive brand. And they have 2 supplements on the market with Jim Molly, which is a brand titled supplement, a pre-workout, and then there's After Party, which is their amino supplement. Now, Jim Molly had already been turned into a beverage, and so it's only fitting that After Party gets the same treatment, which is what happened this past week. They turned it into a beverage, giving it the same kind of formula as the original, including that 7 grams of BCAAs alongside electrolytes, B vitamins, a gram of glutamine, and 750 milligrams of coconut water. There's no sugar and carbohydrates or fat in the product, so it is a guilt-free beverage, and you can check that out on the brand's website in stock now. I think it's was at 20. I'm not sure if they're still running the deal, but it had a regular price of $29.99, and that was discounted. So it is still running. Actually, it's discounted down to $20, which is pretty solid for a case of a functional beverage. And I don't know how it tastes. Might have to give myself over and grab some of that. But yeah, worth checking out. Interesting new brand. I especially like how they've taken that approach. The having the pre-workout become a beverage, then the amino become a beverage. It's quite an interesting thing to see. But we now move to the last 2 stories, and these are the 2 exciting ones, and I promise they are exciting. The first one we're going to cover is actually a product I'm going to get my hands on as soon as possible, and it is a all new flavor of Monster's very popular zero sugar energy drink, Monster Ultra. This thing has been a favorite of mine since I stumbled across the white, God knows how long ago, many years ago, and it's become a favorite of many people. Monster does a great job with the Monster Ultra beverage. Not only is it again guilt-free, nutrition-friendly with 0 sugar and pretty much no calories, but it's just the style of it, the feel of it, the can, the crisp, the design, the raised, the etching. It's just an awesome design, awesome branding, and I love how they do the flavors with just colors, with the white being just white, and it doesn't really say on the can what kind of flavor it is. It leaves you up to kind of guess, and it's obviously worked for them because they've expanded to many different flavors, but they announced a new flavor for this, for Monster Ultra, and it is an awesome, eye-catching gold-themed flavor called Ultra Gold. And now I have heard that I don't know for sure, I haven't seen anything from Monster, but someone said to me, I heard it might be pineapple. That would fit, of course, with a gold yellow kind of color theme. It would also be fitting because it's obviously not flavor the brand's done. I'm a huge fan of Monster Ultra. It is, I think, number 3 on our list of top 5 energy drinks. It's always key to release new flavors for us. Same with our number 1 protein bars, our number 1 protein snacks. The more flavors we get, the higher it puts you, basically. That's just something we've always done because with energy drinks and same with protein bars, let's say 2 protein bars launch in 2 flavors each, and the one's better than the other, and yeah, that's now number 1. But then that number 1 doesn't release new flavors, and then the number 2 releases 2 or 3 more flavors, and one of those is better than any of the other guys, and now you've got 5 different flavors to choose from, all of which are great, one of which is better than the best one, and I have to put it ahead because the variety is too good, the decisions are too good, and I'm not a big fan of brands that just do the 1 flavor and leave it at that, or the 2 flavors and leave it at that. And that's kind of how we rank a lot of things, and that's why we have the Beer Bowls protein bar at the top. Grenade's Carb Killer is also up there. The ESN Designer Bar is also up there. These are products that don't just, I guess, rest on their laurels and come out with different flavors and try and reach new audiences, because obviously when you launch a product that's chocolate and, I don't know, peanut butter, and you don't like chocolate and peanut butter, and then the brand comes out with strawberry, and you like that, you're not gonna like that. But so that's what we rank highly. That's what we appreciate: new flavors, reaching new heights. A lot of the time, though, you generally end up liking all of their flavors. If you like 1 or 2, you like most. And that's the case with Monster Ultra. They've expanded their menu greatly. If this is as good as I'm hoping, and same with the watermelon, which I've yet to try and really, really want to, it's got to put them up the rankings, definitely. They have some dynamite flavors that are doing a great job at gradually and just building the menu out. So yeah, that one they said is releasing shortly. That doesn't necessarily say anything, just that it's probably going to be on shelf soon. We don't have a time frame from Monster or anything like that, but be on the lookout for that one soon. Check out the shot of it on our website. It's just damn cool label design, and another great job from Monster. And the last story we have is from ZOA, which may not be a brand you know of just yet, but it is indeed a brand you're probably going to be knowing about come March, because it is an all-new energy drink from The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, of course, he teased this. We posted about it, that he was hinting at coming out with an energy drink all about healthy, positive energy. In fact, on the Final Scoop podcast that I do with my good friend Lucas and Robert from Apollon, and Robert, the supplement engineer, and TJ from Fitness Deal News, we kind of mentioned that this beverage before it was revealed, and the keywords were healthy, positive energy, and we guessed that it was going to sort of be like natural caffeine, maybe some typical energy drink ingredients, because it's from The Rock, it's a mainstream beverage. You're probably not going to see 600 milligrams of lion's mane or any kind of functional premium nootropics in there, and lo and behold, that's kind of what we got. We haven't seen the full label, but the highlights of this are that it contains a variety of B vitamins, vitamin C from 3 different sources, BCAAs, although a very, very, very small amount. I mentioned earlier that amino beverage from Jim Molley has 7 grams. This has 250, and 160 milligrams of natural caffeine from green tea and green coffee. So we were kind of spot on with what we were expecting about this energy drink. Natural caffeine kind of explains and fits with that healthy, positive spin. And I guess you got all the vitamins in there as well. So it's kind of sort of like a wellness energy beverage, if you may. Still fits with the energy drink market, I guess. Nothing too out of the box. I guess we'll have to see the full label to be able to tell. And then, of course, we have to taste this thing. I'll be interested to see what it tastes like. Again, big energy drink fan. As I mentioned, we just went through like 9 or 10 stories on energy drinks because last week was jam-packed full of them. So yeah, I've got fingers crossed. I'm a big fan of The Rock, just like millions of other people. and I'm hoping it turns out good. It does feel very mainstream. It does feel very generic with the natural caffeine and the vitamins and the. So I mean, I don't know what to expect fully. Yeah, I'm inclined to cross my fingers, hope for the best. But as I said, I've had other energy drinks and been disappointed before, so I'm hoping this isn't the case. It's going to be launching in 5 flavors, only 2 of which I will note. 2 of them actually have 0 sugar on them, and the other ones don't. So I don't know if that's sort of they're going to be all 0 sugar or just the few that say it. And I don't know the calories or anything like that on this. We're still waiting for that. I guess when the product launches in March, which is when it's slated to drop, we'll find out then. But yeah, it's launching in 5 flavors. The 2 that are 0 sugar are wild orange and original. And then there is lemon lime, pineapple coconut, and super berry. So yeah, they're all due to arrive in March. I'm going to hopefully try. I would love to get my hands on some before then, but it's probably not going to be likely. But I'll be lining up and buying them as soon as it's available. I have my fingers crossed. I'm hoping it's as good as I'm hoping. As good of an energy drink as Rock is a celebrity. But yeah, you can check that out on the website. Definitely stay tuned for more stories this week. We'll be having them rolling out. And we also have interviews coming again. I mentioned we've been doing them every week. Last week we were meant to we did a one with Mark Leisure from NutriBio, which was a great chat, great conversation, great guy to have on. And this week we have 2 planned, one with Jim and then one with Ghost. I don't know if we're going to be able to squeeze the Ghost one in, but those 2 will likely be the ones that come in this week and next. So stay tuned for that. And once again, thank you for listening.